विद्या सबसे अनमोल धन है। इसके आने मात्र से ही सिर्फ अपना ही नहीं, अपितु पूरे समाज का कल्याण होता है। जो मनुष्य संयम के साथ विद्यार्जन करता है और अपनी विद्या से सबका परोपकार करता है, उसकी पूजा सिर्फ इस लोक में ही नहीं, वरन परलोक में भी होती है। ये समृद्ध विचार हैं प्रसिद्ध शिक्षाविद एवं महान समाज सुधारक पंडित ईश्वर चंद्र विद्यासागर जी के, जिनकी जयंती के अवसर पर केंद्रीय माध्यमिक शिक्षा बोर्ड इस वेबिनार का आयोजन कर रहा है। My heartfelt greetings and warm welcome to all of you in this special webinar dedicated to the life and contributions of great Pandit Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar ji. I am Sudesh Gulia, Under Secretary IT, Training Unit, Central Board of Secondary Education. I am truly honored to be your anchor for this webinar, and it is a privilege to have you join us today. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, a name that resonates with wisdom, intellect, and profound social impact. He was a towering figure in the history of India, a relentless reformer, scholar, and a philanthropist whose legacy continues to inspire generations. Vidyasagar's dedication to the cause of education, particularly for women, is legendary. Today, we gathered not just to remember his remarkable life, but also to delve deep into the facets of his work that left an indelible mark on Indian society and education. कुछ अपरिहार्य आधिकारिक व्यवस्थाओं के कारण निदेशक प्रशिक्षण डॉक्टर रामशंकर हमारे साथ उपस्थित नहीं हो सके हैं, लेकिन निश्चित रूप से सर ने इस वेबिनार के लिए अपनी शुभकामनाएं व्यक्त की हैं। वेबिनार के इस वर्चुअल मंच पर उपस्थित हैं संयुक्त सचिव प्रशिक्षण इकाई डॉक्टर संदीप जैन जी। सर, मैं आपका अभिनंदन करती हूं। मुख्य अतिथि की भूमिका में उपस्थित हैं डॉक्टर विष्णुपद नंदा, प्रोफेसर एवं पूर्व शिक्षा प्रमुख, शिक्षा विभाग, जादवपुर विश्वविद्यालय, कोलकाता। आपका अभिवादन करती हूं। ऑनलाइन माध्यम से जुड़े सीबीएसई के उत्कृष्टता केंद्र के पदाधिकारियों का स्वागत करती हूं और YouTube के लाइव के जरिए हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं केंद्रीय माध्यमिक शिक्षा बोर्ड से संबद्धता प्राप्त विद्यालयों के प्रधानाचार्य, प्रमुख, शिक्षक, विद्यार्थीगण एवं ज्ञान के उत्साही साथी। I welcome you all here with us today to celebrate the remarkable life of Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar ji. Let us embark on this enlightening journey together and pay tribute to the indomitable spirit of a true visionary. So without further ado, let us begin this webinar dedicated to the legacy of Pandit Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. सर्वप्रथम इस वेबिनार की आवश्यकता और उपयोगिता पर प्रकाश डालने के लिए मैं आमंत्रित करती हूं संयुक्त सचिव प्रशिक्षण इकाई डॉक्टर संदीप जैन जी। सर।
नमस्कार, धन्यवाद सुदेश। साथियों, ईश्वर चंद्र विद्यासागर जी का जीवन और उनसे जुड़ा हुआ एक घटनाक्रम मेरे मानस पटल पर बचपन से है। बचपन में जब मैं छोटा बच्चा था और मेरे क्लास में एक लेसन हुआ करता था जो ईश्वर चंद्र विद्यासागर की सादगी और सरलता पर आधारित था। एक सीनियर रिसर्च फेलो विद्यासागर जी से मिलने पहुंचते हैं और स्टेशन पे लेने के लिए विद्यासागर साहब उनको रिसीव करने के लिए आते हैं। वो उनसे पूछते हैं कि मुझे विद्यासागर जी के घर जाना है, तो बोले हाँ ठीक है, मैं आपको लेने ही आया हूं। तो उनकी सादगी भरे आचरण से वो व्यक्ति, वो स्कॉलर उन्हें समझता है कि ये कुली है, तो वो उनको बोलता है कि चलो मेरा सामान उठा लो। और विद्यासागर जी सहज रूप से उनका सामान उठा के अपने घर तक उसको लेके आते हैं। वो घर पे जाके उन्हें जब पता चलता है कि अरे ये ही विद्यासागर हैं, वो व्यक्ति लज्जित भी होता है। और विद्यासागर जी बताते हैं कि सच्चे रूप में, सरल रूप में, सहज रूप में भी हम कितने अच्छे से अपना जीवन गुजार सकते हैं। साथियों, ये तो हुई मेरे बचपन की बात। अब ये बात करते हैं कि आज के टाइम पे हम ये वेबिनार क्यों कर रहे हैं, आज क्या जरूरत है हमें। तो आज यूं ही मैंने, जब मुझसे बोला गया कि मुझे बोलना है, शुरुआत करनी है, तो मैंने अपने एक साथी से पूछा। मैंने कहा, कौन थे ईश्वर चंद्र विद्यासागर जी, आप जानते हैं क्या? तो जवाब आया कि साहब वो तो समाज सुधारक थे, वो रूढ़ियों पे वार करते थे, स्टीरियोटाइप पे वार करते थे। मेरे मन में फिर से प्रश्न आ गया कि समाज को वो इतने साल पहले सुधारते थे, उस समय की रूढ़ियां बिल्कुल अलग थीं। आज हम क्यों बात कर रहे हैं उनके बारे में? व्हाट इज द रिलेवेंस ऑफ टॉकिंग और दिस वेबिनार which is focused on this legendary figure? फ्रेंड्स, उस समय की रूढ़ियां जो थी वो तो थी ही। हमारा मनुष्य का मन जो है वो रूढ़ियां बनाने में बड़ा एक्सपर्ट होता है। हम माहिर होते हैं स्टीरियोटाइप्स फ्रेम करने में। कारण यह होता है कि स्टीरियोटाइप के आधार पर जब हम बिहेव करते हैं तो हमारी मेंटल एनर्जी कम खर्च होती है। हमको क्रिटिकली सोचना नहीं पड़ता है, और क्रिटिकली सोचने के लिए ज्यादा एनर्जी लगती है। और जब हम रूढ़ियों से जकड़ जाते हैं, चारों तरफ आज के टाइम पे जो हमारे नेटिजन्स हैं उनके अंदर रूढ़ियां देख लीजिए, सोशल मीडिया पे रूढ़ियां देख लीजिए, व्हाट्सएप और फेसबुक पे रूढ़ियां देख लीजिए आप। तब कोई आदमी आता है, तब कोई एक समाज सुधारक आता है, वो बोलता है कि इनको हटाने की जरूरत है, एक नए पर्सपेक्टिव से, नए नजरिए से देखने की जरूरत है। सो साथियों, आज हम इस महान विभूति को याद कर रहे हैं, और मैं स्वागत करता हूं प्रोफेसर नंदा का कि वो हमें एनलाइटन करेंगे, हमें प्रोफेसर ईश्वर चंद्र विद्यासागर जी के जीवन से रूबरू करा के, और आज उनका क्या महत्व है उनकी शिक्षाओं का, वो हमें ज्ञान देके हम सभी को लाभान्वित करेंगे। धन्यवाद, प्रणाम।
Thank you, sir, for the enriching words. Now, it is both an honor and a privilege to introduce our distinguished expert, Professor Bishnupada Nanda, who will shed light on the life and contribution of one of the India's most illustrious and revered figure, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. How his ideas and actions continue to shape the modern world and inspire change in our communities. So before I invite Sir, I would like to give a brief introduction of Sir. Sir, you have been former Assistant Professor, Department of Education, and founder, Joint Director and Course Coordinator, Center for Counseling and Disability Study, Rabindra Bharati University, Kolkata. So you have been former visiting Professor, Department of Special Education, Institute of Education and Research, University of Dhaka, Bangladesh. Former visiting professor, Department of Education, Tripura Central University, Tripura. Former project and course coordinator, Teachers Training College, Monovikas Kendra, Kolkata. Former district IED coordinator, DPEP and SSA, Murshidabad District, West Bengal. Sir has been the member of the BIOS of Education Department, Burdhaman University, Education Department, Jharkhand University, Jadavpur University, Tripura Central University, and Department of Teachers Training, Panskura Banamali, Education Department, Vidhannagar Government College, Department of Education, Vivekanand College, Madhyamagram, Department of Education, Habra Sri Chaitanya College, Department of Education, Vidati Mrinalini Datta College. Sir has supervised 17 number of research scholars for PhD thesis and 12 are under supervision. Sir, number of MPhil thesis supervised by you are 40. There are about 100 numbers of research paper published in your name, while total number of books published are 8 on spatial and inclusive education and 5 on philosophy. As we prepare to embark on this journey through the life and ideas of Pandit Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, I encourage you all to lend your full attention to our distinguished expert, Professor Bishnupada Nanda, as he unravels the profound impact of Vidyasagar's work in shaping not only India's past, but also its present and future. Floor is yours, sir.
Respected Madam Sudesh Gulia, Under Secretary IT Training, CBSE Headquarters, New Delhi. Respected Dr. Ram Sankar, Director of Training, CBSE Headquarters. Respected Dr. Sandeep Kumar Jain, Joint Secretary Training, CBSE Headquarters, Delhi. All these staff members of CBSE, technical staff in the background of this program, and all the honorable audience, I'm glad to inform that now I'll deliver only a few lines about Pandit Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, who was truly an ocean from all aspects in his 203 years of birthday. It is quite impossible for anybody, including me also, to touch all the aspects of life, particularly when time is very much limited. Yet, I'm trying to my best. Gandhiji. Gandhiji. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, known as Mahatma Gandhi, wrote about Pandit Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar in 16th September 1905 from Gujarat, which was published in Indian Opinion, that, quote unquote, the strong movement that is being carried on in Bengal to boycott British goods is of no mean significance. Such a movement has been possible there because education is more widespread and the people in Bengal are more alert than other parts of India. Unquote. The rise or fall of any nation depends upon its great men. In undivided India, the Bengal became great because many great men were born here during 18th and 19th century. The heroic figure, Raja Rammohan Rai, born in 18th century Bengal in India, who raised Bengal to position higher than that of the other provinces of India. The Renaissance in India, it was started to some extent by Raja Ram Mohan Rai for his reform activities. Pandit Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar was the disciple of Raja Ram Mohan Rai. Vidyasagar, which means an ocean of learning, was an honorific of Ishwar Chandra conferred on him by the Pandits of Calcutta for its profound Sanskrit learning, as was quoted by Mahatma Gandhi. Ishwar Chandra himself was not only an ocean of Vidya or knowledge, but he was an ocean of compassion, of generosity, as well as of many other virtues. Though Ishwar Chandra was a Hindu Brahmin, but to him, Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra, as well as the Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, were all alike with Shraddha. He never made any distinction between the high and low, rich and poor, men and women. To him, all are human beings. Ishwar Chandra nursed even the cholera patient in his own hand and in his own cost. and even he attended to the patient toilet. Vidyasagar always helped the poor with food and money, those who needed it. According to Gandhiji, quote unquote, he felt grief at other people's sorrows and joy at their joys. Even when Vidyasagar saw a disabled in a distressed condition by the roadside, he took him to his own house and nursed him without any hate and bias. Ishwar Chandra was born in 26 September 1820, Tuesday, during the noontime. In Bengali, the date was 12th Asin, 1227. His father was a very poor man, Thakur Das Bandyopadhyay, and his mother was Bhagavati Devi, a very saintly woman whose virtues were inherited by her elder son, Ishwar Chandra. Vidyasagar born in Bir Singha village of Midnapur district in Bengal, a small snap of Bir Singha village in Midnapur district in West Bengal in India. His father, Thakur Das Bandyopadhyay, knew some English and worked in a British business firm. At that time, in Bengali, it was known as Saudagori Farm. British farm was known as Saudagori Farm. Therefore, Thakur Das decided to give his elder son a better education and started his schooling at the age of 5 at the Pathsala of Kalikanta Chattopadhyay in 1825 at Bir Singha village. At the age of 8 years, he had to walk 60 miles to Kolkata to join Sanskrit College. In 1829, Ishwar Chandra admitted in Standard 3 in Calcutta Sanskrit College in the class of Sanskrit grammar, that is Vyakarana. He received a scholarship of ₹5 per month in 1831. You just think about it. In 1831, scholarship was ₹5 per month because of its academic excellence. In 1835, he learned English in parallel with Sanskrit language and literature. In 1836, May to 1838, he studied Vedanta and finally he completed the course in Triti. In 1839, 22nd April, received a certificate in favor of Hindu Law Committee. In 1841, 4th December, he completed his education in Sanskrit College. Sanskrit College certificate. This is the certificate Vidyasagar got from Sanskrit College of that period, that is in 1841. This was the certificate, and all the Pandits, all the teachers of Sanskrit College, they signed here. Okay. In the same year, in 29th December, he joined Fort William College as the head Pandit in Bengali department. During his teachership, he wrote a good number of books in Bengali for the school and college students. arising step by step, Vidyasagar became the principal of Sanskrit College. For his academic geniusness and administrative qualities. The present picture of Calcutta Sanskrit College, now the Sanskrit University. The then British government held him in great respect, but being his independent nature, he could not adjust himself. What Vivekananda put forward to the Directorate of Public Instruction. The then Lieutenant Government of Bengal requested him to withdraw his resignation, but Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar flatly declined. According to Gandhiji, the nobility and humanity of Vidyasagar blossomed truly after he had given up his job. During this period, he wrote a good number of books in Bengali. It is due to Vidyasagar the Bengali language is at present in full bloom and has spread not only in every corner of India, but also throughout the world. Now, educational contribution of Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Vidyasagar was not merely a day-to-day routine worker or aimless slave driver. He did everything in a well thought out plan and program. When he was in Sanskrit College in 1846, he planned to develop the entire field of education in respect of content of education, content of subject material, as well as the form of education. From this time, Vidyasagar started to spread education among the common people in the countryside and make knowledge fruitful. He started to reform the subject as well as the vernacular during his period in Sanskrit College. In his age 25, he felt that the requirement of the largest store of sound Sanskrit and English learning combined, under the impression that such a training is likely to produce men who will be highly useful in the work of imbibing our vernacular dialects with the science and civilization of the Western world. Therefore, he was very much clear about combining Sanskrit and English learning, making the vernacular properly equipped, the medium of education, and emphasized upon studying the science and civilization of Western world. Nowadays, we call it as modern knowledge. Vidyasagar, in his age 25, realized that the modern knowledge is essential for modernizing Indian society. His central purpose of educational plan was introduction of the science and civilization of the Western world, dressed in elegant, expressive, idiomatic Bengali for the Bengalis. He had a better insight into the revolutionary role of English education than all the young Bengal and the rebellious products of the Hindu college, now the Presidency College. The foundation of Indian national education, its ideology and shape were thus clearly envisaged and indicated first by Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Previously, during the period of Vidyasagar, it was known as Hindu College, and now it is known as Presidency College, and very recently it is known as the Presidency University. He also felt that modern knowledge must be naturalized through our languages and become our natural national possession. Even in his period, he had a better grasp of the situation than most other Anglicists and Orientalists or most other scholars from English medium background or those who favored Rashtra Bhasha as the medium of education of our day. Vidyasagar felt that we have to equip the modern Indian language like Bengali, etc., by learning first Sanskrit. Why? It is because the Sanskrit is the source of most of our tongues. And without learning Sanskrit, nobody would be able to understand the genius of Sanskrit as well as their own languages. After learning Sanskrit and the modern Indian languages, one may study in depth English language and literature as much as possible. Knowing English is essential to draw the geniusness of modern knowledge and science. Early studying Shankha and Vedanta philosophy will not be sufficient unless a Sanskrit scholar can acquire English. Otherwise, he will not be able to study the modern philosophy of Europe. They should study Indian philosophy as well as the philosophy of the West to compare the system of philosophy of their own. During that period, Vidyasagar thought the comparative knowledge of different philosophies of the world. These young men, thus educated, will be able to identify the errors of ancient Hindu philosophy. In this way, the young scholar will be able to judge for himself. Vidyasagar thus wrote, quote unquote, his knowledge of European philosophy shall be to him an invaluable guide to the understanding of the merits of the different systems. In a letter dated 7th September 1953, he wrote clearly to F.J. Mouat, that, quote unquote, for certain reasons which it is needless to state here, we are obliged to continue the teaching of Vedanta and Sankhya in the Sanskrit college. Vidyasagar was the first Indian who thought about to spread education among the common people. In 1846 reports, he clearly expressed his views in favor of mass education particularly in undivided India. He therefore wrote, quote unquote, what we require is to extend the benefit of education to the mass of the people. Let us establish a number of vernacular schools. Let us prepare a series of vernacular class books on useful and instructive subjects. Let us raise up a band of men qualified to undertake the responsible duty of teachers and the objectives accomplished. They should be perfect masters of their own language, possess a considerable amount of useful information, and be free from the prejudices of their country, unquote. So his vision was that the whole energy of our Sanskrit college should be directed in favor of preparing such a useful class of men. So it is clear that he first emphatically held the view of Indian national education, mass education, and three-language formula, that is the Sanskrit, the mother language, and a modern foreign language. Thakur Ramakrishna Paramahansadev, and in the later period, Swami Vivekananda and Rabindranath Tagore favor mass education for all the common people of the country. But the first concept of mass education was quoted by, obviously, Pandit Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. During his period, Bengali language did not find even a place in the stepmother's hall in the Calcutta University studies. Calcutta University studies. Rabindranath Tagore, Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, and Gurudas Banerjee. This is Calcutta University, new building, and this is University of Calcutta, new building, Alipur campus, and Rabindranath Tagore, Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, and Gurudas Banerjee. Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay here, then Gurudas Banerjee and Rabindranath Tagore. They pleaded in favor of Bengali in the university's higher education system during the last decade of the 19th century. During that period, it was unthinkable that Bengali can be granted as the medium of education in the higher classes. In 1858, 3rd November, he resigned from the post of principal of Sanskrit College, resignation letter. So, in 1858, 3rd November, Pandit Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, he resigned from Sanskrit College, Kolkata, because he intended to devote himself to develop Bengali literature books for school level students. And for spreading knowledge among his countrymen. He did not create. No. He did not create a literature of power, but he created a literature of information for social reform. His style of writing was elegant, expressive, and idiomatic. Some of the books written by him were Betal Panchavinshati books. Betal Panchavinshati in 1847. Here is the Betal Panchavinshati published in 1847. Then Banglar Itihas. Then Banglar Itihas in 1848 published. Then Jibon Chorit 1849 published. Then Bodhoday, Upakromonika, and Rijupat. Bodhoday, Upakromonika, and Rijupat in 1851. Then Shakuntala in 1855. Again, Kothamala, Borno Porichoy, and Charitaboli. Kothamala, Borno Porichoy, and Charitaboli in 1856. Then Sitar Bonobas in 1860. Next, Akhan Manjuri in 1863. Next, Bhanti Bilas in 1869. Then Bohu Vivaho Ruth in 1871 and in 1873. Prabhavati Sambhashan and Atmacharit are highly revealing pieces of literature which remained in manuscript. The pamphlets on widow remarriage against polygamy in 1850 and 1855 are undoubtedly original and very good examples of argumentative prose. After reading the writings of Vidyasagar, anybody amongst us will find his realist outlook and methodical mind in writing a literature. His main objective of writing books in Bengali were to equip Bengali language, Through his writings, he also developed a road of Sanskrit Riju part. It is completed in 3 parts, were written taking the sources from Panchatantra, Mahabharata, Ramayana, Hitopadesha, and Bhattikabbam. I can quote one verse from Panchatantra, which very much influenced Pandit Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar in writing the books, taking the knowledge, taking the informations from other books. That is, Anantaparang kila shabda shastrang, shalpang tathayur bhavascha vigna, sharang tato grajyamapasya falgu, angseri jataksira vibambu mabdat. He wrote Sanskrit grammar, Vyakaran Kaumudi, to simplify the sutras of Siddhanta Kaumudi, and also gave Bengali explanations to make the sutras easily understandable by the Bengali students. He also critically edited Abhigyana Shakuntalam, Meghadutam with his judgment and insight. The genius of Bengali language was revealed first in Vidyasagar's writing. Rabindranath Tagore said, quote unquote, Vidyasagar is the first artist in Bengali prose. According to the novelist Bankim Chandra, no one before Vidyasagar and none after him could write such elegant and graceful Bengali. He was the first to introduce punctuation marks like comma, semicolon, full stop, quotation marks, etc. Now, role of Pandit Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar as the founder or founder member of schools. In 1859 May, he established Metropolitan Institution. Thakurdas Chakraborty and some other gentlemen, they established this Metropolitan Institution, and Vidyasagar acted as a member of the school committee. Finally, the management of the school devoted upon Vidyasagar. Ishwar Chandra started college classes in 1873. According to G. Bellet, officiating director of public instruction in Bengal, among unaided colleges, the Metropolitan Institution maintains its numerical supremacy. The General Assembly's College stands second, and the Presidency College holds the third place in point of numbers. In 1883, in his report, Bellet stated that Metropolitan Institution is a first-grade college and provides for the education of students up to the MA degree. In 1882, Metropolitan Institution got affiliation for law degree course. A.W. Croft, Director of Public Instruction, he quoted that, here is the A.W. Croft, he quoted that all the colleges have done fairly well. The Metropolitan Institution taking the lead. It passed 24 out of 39 candidates who appear in examination, 4 of them being in the first division. The attendance at the law lectures of the Presidency College dwindled to 6 owing to the affiliation in law of the Metropolitan Institution and the City College, and the classes were closed at the end of the year 1883. I take this quotation from unpublished letters of Vidyasagar, page 58 to 59. General report on public institution in Bengal observed that the Metropolitan Institution continues to be by far the largest of all the colleges in the province, and probably in India, though its increase during the year has been but small. Now metropolitan institution is known as Vidyasagar College. Here it is, the Vidyasagar College. Previously it was Metropolitan Institution, now Vidyasagar College. In 1849, 17th May, Bethune Girls' School was established by Drinkwater Bethune. With the support of, here is Drinkwater Bethune, who himself established the girls' school in 1849, 7th May, and Babu Ramgopal Ghosh, Babu Dakshinaranjan Mukherjee, and Pandit Madan Mohan Tarkalankar. Raja Dakshinaranjan Mukherjee, Ramgopal Ghosh, and Pandit Madan Mohan Tarkalankar, they supported Drinkwater Bethune to establish the school. During establishment, Vidyasagar named this school as Calcutta Female School. In 1850, Vidyasagar became secretary of this school. The most able leadership and insight of Vidyasagar, his unconditional interest of Bethune and support of Maharishi Devendranath Tagore made Calcutta Female School a milestone for girls' education in Bengal. Maharishi Devendranath Tagore is the father of Rabindranath Tagore. Bethune died in 12th August 1851. After his death, Cecil Bidon renamed the school as Bethune Female School. Here is Cecil Bidon, who renamed the female school, the Calcutta Female School, as the Bethune Female School. Now, the contribution of Vidyasagar in female education, not only in Bengal, but in India. The then British government took positive policy towards female education. In the background of the policy was Bethune and Lord Dalhousie. In 29th March 1850, here is Lord Dalhousie in 29th March 1850. So Bethune requested to Lord Dalhousie in a letter dated 29th March 1850 to launch in different states to start female education in the country. Taking the positive policy was further stimulated by Sir Charles Wood's sympathetic observations in 1854 in favor of female education. After a long official deliberations and Bethune's views, the court's dispatch of 4th September 1850 gave the green signal. Wood's dispatch made the principle of grants in aid applicable to female education. Halliday gave the burden of Atlas. Here is Professor M.A.K. Halliday. He gave the burden of Atlas of female education on the soldiers of Vidyasagar because because Vidyasagar possessed love toward female education. Vidyasagar can use his Brahmin Pandit's image and Vidyasagar will be able to rouse public sympathy and will draw active public cooperation. Government sanctioned grant for 4 schools, 2 in Hooghly district and 2 in Burdwan district since May 1857. But Pandit Ishwar Chandra enormously thought that government had taken up a generous policy of expanding female education in rural areas of Bengal. Therefore, Vidyasagar started to open female schools one after another in rural areas of different districts of Bengal and finished with a record of 35 schools with 1,348 girl students between November 1857 and June 1858. You think about it, the timing, 1857 and within 1857 and 1858, he established 35 girls' schools, having girls students, 1,348. In Hooghly district, he established 20 schools. In Barwan district, 11 schools. Midnapur district, 3 schools. And Nodia district, 1 school. So total 35 girls' schools. For running 35 girls' schools smoothly, Vidyasagar requested to the government to grant rupees 845 only per month. The Lieutenant Governor was alarmed at the spurt of enthusiasm taken by Vidyasagar and did not comply with the request unless the rules for grants in aid were relaxed. The Lieutenant Governor further added that whenever a suitable schoolhouse is provided and the attendance of as many as 20 girls is promised, the payment of all the other expenses of maintaining the school shall be defrayed by the government. The Directorate of Public Instruction therefore recommended that Pandit Vidyasagar be reimbursed for the extra expenses he had already incurred in maintaining girls' schools which he had established. After a long official debate, Vidyasagar wrote, quote unquote, "But I must be permitted to mention that at the commencement of my operations, I was not discouraged either by yourself, that is the Directorate of Public Instruction, or government. If I had been, I would never have ventured to open so many schools. It will certainly be a great hardship if I am responsible for it, especially when the expenditure has been incurred on furtherance of an object of public utility." After a long discussion, Government of India sanctioned rupees 1,000 only for the girls' education in Bengal, dated 22nd June 1858. The government's decision hurt Pandit Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, and he finally resigned on 5th August 1858. Vidyasagar born to command and not to obey. He had to swallow the bitter pill as the teachers of his established school looked up to him for their payment, but the DPI expressed his regret. Now, Vidyasagar's views about starting a female teachers training college. What was his view? In 1866, Miss Mary Carpenter came in India. Miss Mary Carpenter came in India. Here is the Miss Mary Carpenter. He came in India and became active for development of girls' education. She understood the need of trained female teacher for development of girls' education in the country and became interested to establish Bethune Normal School for preparing the trained women teacher. Everybody knows it, that if there is no trained teacher, if there is no trained girls teacher, female teachers, how it becomes possible to run the girls' school, the female school. Therefore, Mary Carpenter, she became interested to establish a teachers training college for preparing the female teachers for the girls' school. But what was the voice of Vidyasagar? In 1867, Vidyasagar wrote a letter to Chotolast Mr. William Gray that the proposal of Mary Carpenter is apparently good, but until and unless a good number of girls achieve higher education, the educated girls will not come forward to become teacher. Vidyasagar was a realistic person. He knows the true reality of Bengal at that period. Later on, the same voice was echoed by Swami Vivekananda. He said, there is no need of any set of program for uplifting women. Give them education and leave them free. They will work out the solution of their own problems themselves. So very interesting line quoted by Swami Vivekananda. Again, I am quoting it. There is no need of any set of program for uplifting women. Give them education and leave them free. They will work out the solution of their own problems themselves. Vidyasagar as social reformer. As you know, everybody, Ishwar Chandra was the first to make a cause and the object of immediate campaign. As a very particular turn of mind, he knew that he had to break the orthodox customs of Hindu Samaj and to start Hindu widow remarriage. He knew it is not easy. So he studied in depth all the Hindu scriptures to destroy the wrong concept and to establish, number one, Hindu widow remarriage, and he had to stand against polygamy of Hindu males. Vidyasagar was the disciple of Raja Ram Mohan Rai, and Raja Ram Mohan Rai was a social reformer. Vidyasagar also, like Raja Ram Mohan Rai, became a social reformer to establish Hindu widow remarriage and stand against polygamy of Hindu males, particularly as was established by Vallal Sen in Kaulinno Protha, Kaulinno customs. In this occasion, he not only started the Bengal, but also the whole of undivided India for the cause of Hindu widow remarriage and to stop the polygamy of Hindu males. Maharashtra and South India supported him, but a strong opposition were there also. Vidyasagar first wrote against polygamy in 1850. After a continuous struggle, he succeeded to pass the Widow Remarriage Act in 1856, 7th December, by the then India government. So, Hindu Widow Remarriage Act was passed by the then India government on 7th December 1856. In this connection, Binoy Ghosh remarked, quote unquote, at Vidyasagar's initiative and under his supervision, the first lawful Hindu widow remarriage of our country was ceremoniously celebrated in Calcutta on 7th December 1856. He had to face the enmity of the entire Orthodox Hindu community, but he bore that with iron composure. It is the line quoted from Studies in the Bengal Renaissance, 1958, page 54. Vidyasagar died at the age of 70 on 29th July 1891. দেখাও ছবিটা, দেখাও, ছবিটা এরপরে আছে, তার মৃত্যুর ছবিটা আছে না, আসছে না এখন। Yeah, here is the picture when Vidyasagar died. The Ganga Prapti is always ready. All his students, friends, and other peoples, they came together, and Vidyasagar is here. So he died at the age of 70 on 29th July 1891 in Bengali. The date was 13th Shravan 1298, Tuesday, at Badur Bagan in Calcutta at about 2:18 a.m. Here is Vidyasagar's অন্তিম বিনিয়োগ পত্র. It means the last wills of Vidyasagar, and he himself signed for it. And he himself signed here. Now I will conclude. Vidyasagar was a man of the 19th century, a century where reformers had to find their way through hesitation, contradiction, and doubts, which at times made their work self-contradictory. Though we do not find much self-contradiction in Vidyasagar's activities, we are unable to explain his disinterest in educating his wife and daughter. We don't know why Vidyasagar never tried to educate his own wife and his daughter, though he was interested in educating all the girls of the country. His was scientifically minded education. He was a serious-minded social and educational reformer, and always eager to win his way by reasoning. He was a noble, kind-hearted man with a fine tune for the musical qualities of words, clauses, and sentences. Though he had to create his own path in the rough and tumble of busy life. Here is Michael Madhusudan Datta, a friend of Pandit Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Everybody knows the name of Michael Madhusudan because of his literature. According to Michael Madhusudan Datta, his was the genius and wisdom of an ancient age, the energy of an Englishman, and the heart of a Bengali mother. We get a vivid description of Vidyasagar's character. Michael Madhusudan Datta wrote in Bengali, obviously I will quote here in Bengali, বিদ্যার সাগর তুমি বিখ্যাত ভারতে, করুণার সিন্ধু তুমি সেই জানে মনে, দিন যে দিনের বন্ধু, উজ্জ্বল জগতে হিমাদ্রির হেম ক্লান্তি অম্লান কিরণে, কিন্তু ভাগ্য বলে পেয়ে সে মহাপর্বতে, যে জন আশ্রয় লয় সুবর্ণ চরণে, সেই জানে কত গুণ ধরে কত মতে, গিরিশ কি সেবা তার সে সুখ সদনে, দানে বাড়ি নদী রূপ বিমলা কিঙ্করি, যোগায় অমৃত ফল পরম আদরে, দীর্ঘ শির তরুদল দাস রূপ ধরি, পরিমল ফুল কুল 10-20 ভরে, দিবসে শীতল শ্বাস ছায়া বনেশ্বরী, নিশায় সুশান্ত নিদ্রা ক্লান্তি দূর করেন। মৃত্যু In the above line of Madhusudan, we get a vivid description of Vidyasagar character. According to Swami Abhedananda of Ramakrishna Mission, 1866 to 1939, Vidyasagar was the most distinguished educationist and the greatest Hindu scholar of the time. Swami Abhedananda, he wrote, Vidyasagar was the most distinguished educationist and the greatest Hindu scholar of the time. In 1894, Sri Aurobindo wrote, Vidyasagar is a scholar, sage, and intellectual dictator, labored hugely to create a new Bengali language and a new Bengali society. Kedarnath Bhattacharya described Vidyasagar as one of the promoters and torch-bearer of the Indian Renaissance. Remembering him only for his limitless knowledge, wisdom, honesty, truthful, and kindness character would be an injustice to him. His true nature was first described by Rabindranath Tagore. According to Tagore, the people of our country cannot but respect the man, but on the other hand, they try to cover up his attacks on superstitious beliefs with curtains of kindness. He was the charioteer of modern and progressive ideas into the Indian society, which at that time was rigged with superstitions, backwardness, and miscalling. Although he was constantly insulted and attacked by the then society, but he never gave up and stood strong with truth at his side. So more than his knowledge, wisdom, or kindness, his strong manhood is more appreciable. His strong is more appreciable. Rabindranath Tagore wrote a poetry in Bengali. Nana dukhe chitter vikhepe ভিত্তি যায় বারংবার কেঁপে, যারা অন্য মনা তারা শোনো, আপনারে ভুলো না কখনো। মৃত্যুঞ্জয় যাহাদের প্রাণ, সব তুচ্ছতার ঊর্ধ্বে দীপ যারা জালে অনেক বান, তাহাদের মাঝে যেন হয় তোমাদের নিত্য পরিচয়। তাহাদের খর্ব করো যদি, খর্বতার অপমানে বন্দী হয়ে রবে নিরবধি, তাদের সম্মানে মান নিও বিশ্বে যারা চিরস্মরণীয়। In National Education Policy 2020, they also clearly dictate about the concept of Pandit Ishwar Chandra, about Pandit Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. And in 26th September 2020, NEP was published by MHRD and UGC. So we are thinking about that personality of kindness, of love, of simplicity, of knowledge, and all the good characters in favor of women, in favor of girls, in favor of common people. And very interesting feature is that Vidyasagar first quoted the concept of mass education, followed by Thakur Sri Ramakrishna and Rabindranath Tagore and Bankim Chandra. So thank you all. Thanks to Madam Sudesh Gulia, and thanks to all the members of CBSE for asking me in this in this day to discuss about Pandit Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening us with your wonderful and knowledge-enriched presentation. You have beautifully touched various aspects of the life of Pandit Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. I am sure it will leave long-lasting impact on all of us. I express my heartfelt gratitude to you for sharing insights on the life and contribution of Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar to education and social reform. Your expertise has truly enriched our understanding of this remarkable figure in history. We are truly fortunate to have had the opportunity to hear from someone as knowledgeable and enthusiastic as you. Now, as we move towards the end of this webinar, I would like to request Dr. Sandeep Jain, Joint Secretary Training, to give vote of thanks. Sir.
थैंक यू सुदेश। साथियों, दोबारा से आपसे नमस्कार करता हूं। आज के इस वेबिनार को कंसेप्चुलाइज करने के लिए और ईश्वर चंद्र विद्यासागर जी की जीवन पर वेबिनार का सृजन करने के लिए मैं सबसे पहले आभारी हूं हमारे डायरेक्टर साहब डॉक्टर रामशंकर जी का, और मैं आभारी हूं प्रोफेसर नंदा का, जो इन्होंने इतने बढ़िया सुंदर शब्दों में ईश्वर चंद्र विद्यासागर जी के जीवन पर प्रकाश डाला और हम सभी को ये ज्ञान दिया। मैं आपका आभारी हूं सर, प्रणाम करता हूं आपको। सुदेश, मैं आपका आभारी हूं। आपने बड़े ना सिर्फ आपने टेक्निकली वेबिनार को लाइव स्ट्रीम करने में अपना रोल प्ले किया है, साथ ही साथ आपने इस वेबिनार को एंकरिंग करने में जो काम किया है उसके लिए मैं आपका आभारी हूं। मैं आभारी हूं हमारे सारे 17 उत्कृष्टता केंद्र, सेंटर ऑफ एक्सीलेंस, जो 17 लोकेशंस पे हैं। उन्होंने इस वेबिनार का इंफॉर्मेशन देश के हर एक टीचर तक पहुंचाने में जो भूमिका निभाई है, उनका मैं आभारी हूं। 28,000 के करीब हमारे सीबीएसई एफिलिएटेड स्कूल्स हैं और 1.5 मिलियन टीचर्स हैं जो इन स्कूल्स में काम करते हैं। उन तक ये वेबिनार की सूचना यदि हम पहुंचा पाते हैं तो वो हमारे सीओई हेड्स हैं। सो थैंक यू वेरी मच डियर कलीग्स एंड देश और विदेश में बैठे हुए हमारे प्रिंसिपल साथी, शिक्षक साथी और विद्यार्थीगण जो इस वेबिनार से जुड़े, आप सभी का आभार है, आप सभी का धन्यवाद है। और आशा करता हूं कि इस वेबिनार के माध्यम से आप सभी अपने जीवन में कुछ वांछनीय, कुछ पॉजिटिव, सकारात्मक परिवर्तन ला सकेंगे। धन्यवाद, प्रणाम।
Thank you, sir. The webinar is over now.